Okay, now I'm going to show you what the Accordance Bible also has. This is a map of Israel. Okay, and actually this map is interactive. Now there are quite a number of other maps that I have over here. If you look at this, if I click here, I can actually search for major biblical sites. I can look at the ancient major highways. Okay, maybe I want to look at the let me see the traditional Exodus. Okay, the traditional Exodus. Let's look at the traditional Exodus. Look carefully the route that they were taking. Okay, and it's moving. See, it's moving slowly here, and it shows the direction that they were taking, that the people of Israel took from coming out from Egypt. Okay, they were going through this part. Okay, and this is the Sinai Peninsula that they were traveling in. So instead of going straight to the to Israel along this route, they actually went through into the wilderness for 40 years. So you can see they went to this place called, there's this Mount Sinai over here. Okay, and then after that they went up to Abora. Okay, Abora, Exlon, Geber. Okay, and then from there they went up to Kadesh Barnea. Okay, and they just continue the journey up and down and up again, right? So you can see the arrows over here, it's moving. Okay, and you will be able to at least follow through the path that they took. So this map actually is very interactive, and I like it because it makes my studies a lot easier to really understand the location of these little places, that was there. Now, finally, they have come to Jericho, and this is the place where they attacked the Tower of Jericho, or the wall of Jericho fell. Okay, so the city of Jericho was conquered. So now this is interesting, isn't it? That's what accordance can do. Now the other thing which I find very useful as well is the timeline. Okay, if you look at the timeline here, you will see um, the various different civilization, Africa, Egypt, Israel or Palestine, and then you have Aram, and you have Arabia, okay, Arabia, okay, and you have Mesopotamia, okay, all happening at around the same time. Okay, you can see how they are correlated to each other. Greece and Asia, Persia, and so on. Okay, so now if you look at just Israel or Palestine, okay, and you think of it in terms of its relation with civilizations such as the Egyptian period. So during the Egyptian sojourn, right, they were actually living in Egypt, okay, and it was around this century, the 12th dynasty, sorry, around let's say around 1800 BC. Okay, you can actually look at the timeline on the top right hand corner. You see it's 18720 Egypt, the 12th dynasty uh, of pharaohs which rule at the height of the Middle Kingdom. And then if you move this towards the Hyksos, it is around 1638, or around this period in Egypt as well. So after that, it goes through the time when they left Egypt during the 18th dynasty, okay, probably around 1451 BC. So this is the the Egyptian civilization. Okay, and then if you go to the Egyptian sojourn here, you will see all these different things. Moses free Egypt, and then you see the battle of Megiddo as well. Okay, and then you go on to the judges. You have different uh, judges during this period. Okay, and then you have the United Kingdom here, this period, and then you have the split of the United Kingdom to Israel and Judah, and Israel was taken by the Assyrians, while Judah was taken by the Babylonians. Okay, and the Persians, right? The Persian Empire um, later annexed the part, that the empire that belonged to Assyria, okay, after the collapse of Assyria, and then it also took over the Babylonian Empire as well. Therefore, both Israel and Judah came under the Persians, okay, and this is the period that it coincides with the 27th dynasty of the Egyptian um, pharaohs. Okay, and so then after that, if you want to look at how this compares to the periods of the for example, the Greece, okay, or you want to look at the Persian Empire itself, okay, is during this period here. The Persian Empire under, these are all the names of the kings in that period. We can, of course, enlarge it if we want to see who were the kings here. See, over here, you can see the Persian Empire, right? And you have your Queen Esther here. You have Queen Vashti deposed. Esther becomes queen and deliverance of Purim and so on. And you have also the names of the kings of Persia, like for example Cyrus the Great. We all know Cyrus the Great, and we know Darius, Xerxes, and Artaxerxes, and then Darius the second, and after that is Artaxerxes the second. So this will give us an idea of the timeline in the Old Testament, which is very, very useful because we often know this is there are two Cyrus here. One is Cyrus the First and Cyrus the Great. Okay, I think if I recall correctly, it was actually Cyrus the First who gave the edict, okay, to let's see, to Judah, to Nehemiah. Okay, let me see if that's correct. We go back to the Israel here. We go back to Israel here. It's over here, all right? So we just click and enlarge it, and here we see Nehemiah is during this period about let's say about 430 BC. Okay, Nehemiah and Ezra about 430 BC, and this will actually coincide with the let's see, the Persian Empire during the period of uh, King Darius the second. Okay, so King so Cyrus the Great was the one who first gave the permission to the people of Israel to go back, people of Judah to go back to Judah or to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple, because it is during this period here that we have prophets like Haggai and Zechariah. Okay, and so this is something very useful, especially for us to get an idea where these prophets uh, where these prophets are placed, during which period. Actually, I didn't know that Obadiah and Joel came first, right before Micah and Isaiah, Jeremiah, then Zephaniah and Nahum. Okay, and four, these are the three prophets who were during the post-exilic period: Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. So, yep, that's interesting. The timelines is interesting. It's very useful as well. That's what Accordance Bible can do. If I want to search, for example, um, the the, uh, the map here, I want to look at uh, location of, let's say, for example, I want to look at the location. Let's say I want to look at this word here. Often wonder where is elephantine. Okay, it sounds like elephant. Elephantine. Let's look at it. Okay, so elephantine, where are you? Okay, now that's elephantine, right? Now my computer is a bit slow, but you can actually see elephantine here. It's taking a bit of time to load, maybe because I've got too many software open. Okay, but anyway, this is elephantine here, and I can actually enlarge it so that we can see clearly. Okay, elephantine is over here, right? And I think this is animation, run the route animation. Okay, let's see what does it show here. The route animation. Uh, yes, it's not showing anything except maybe um, yes, I think it is. Yeah, it's over here. It's the Exodus, the traditional route that we believe Moses led the people of Israel through this route here, like what we have seen earlier. Okay, and let me see. This is a 3D map. Okay, there's no 3D map here. Right, so animation is here already. So okay, so we know where Elephantine is. It's somewhere here on the Nile River. Okay, near this place called Siyin. Siyin, I think it's called pronounced as Siyin. Well, anyway, that's the map that you can actually see on the Accordance Bible. Interesting.